Wagwan, my YouTubers, my 1-0s, my 1-2s, my 9-7s, my 701s. I'm gonna make another batch. Give me ideas. I'm gonna make another batch because I want to drop out some merch for you guys that are just channel supporters. Don't necessarily play the sport, but you just show me love. Like, I want a batch specifically for you guys. So we'll create a nice design. Give me a name to work with. Before I get into it, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, because it's only you guys that make this channel what it is. Like, obviously, yeah, I film the videos, but if y'all don't come through and show me the love, realistically, I don't get where I am now. Do you get what I'm saying? So I want to take some time out and share some more love with you guys. I would love to do some giveaways, but every time I try and do giveaways on the channel, for some reason, it seems like y'all don't really understand how to enter. So I don't know how to do it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run giveaways on the channel, and then when the giveaways happen, I'll just leave bags of stuff at different sites. So maybe like Future Survival, Mayhem, Splatoon, and then you can go and collect. You just give them your name and go collect like maybe t-shirts, hoodies, etc. But enough chatting, let's get into it. Today's video. So I went out a bit earlier, Future Survival. Those of you who've been following recently, I basically fell back in love with the M4 AR-15 style platform. And I have, apart from my stubby, I've got two other platforms. So one which I call my DMR. We'll get into that another video where I do the DMR. And then one which I call my AR-15, which is basically just like my CQB hybrid. Its job is literally just to run CQB on evelings when the players are very intermediate and not strong and the guns aren't strong out there. But so basically be a basic gun, but be high quality enough that it doesn't drive me crazy and mechanically blow up is the long and short of it. That's that gun's job. And the DMR's job is just to basically give me something that isn't the stubby, that shoots bare far, but also gives me the ability to play in CQB when I want to run more a combat style gameplay, like you'll see from tonight's stuff. Because I might connect this footage to the footage from Future Survival's gameplay tonight. Because it was a really good night, trust me. There was some games where, boy, you'll see for yourself. The way the team played, I'm really proud of our squad tonight. I'm really, really proud. Like, tonight is a night that reminds me why I'm doing what I'm doing. But without further ado, let's get into it. So you're probably like, what the hell are you doing? So essentially, those two guns need barrel and hop-up setups, because I've spent, over the last few weeks, I've spent time working on the lower receivers. So things like the motor, the grip styles that I use, the gears, the ETU systems. I've still got one or two tweaks to the AR-15 that I want to do, like maybe an ETU change, maybe a gear change, some gear changes, but the DMR is at a good place. I think the worst I would probably do to that gun is maybe a spring change, because I bought some springs, so I'll do that another day and just test FPSs, etc. But let's get straight into it. So I know y'all gonna want to know the list. Y'all say I don't tech enough on the channel, so I'm trying to tech more. So I bought a Spectre Arms 6.02 tight ball barrel, 229mm. I know some people be like, why do you do that? Like I said, that barrel, ideally, I'm looking for to go into the AR-15 style platform. So I need something short enough to not clear the tracer, so my tracer actually functions, but long enough that when I put the bucking and all of that set up to it, the barrel, the hop-up, sorry, and the bucking, it makes sense in terms of the distance I'm getting shooting wise and even FPS wise, because obviously I want to be able to use both those guns in CQB, but I also want that little oomph of 40 meters. Like, I don't want anything less than 35 meters from those guns, because realistically I can't have a DMR that doesn't shoot over 35 meters. So yeah, I also grabbed two springs, so FPS Solitaire Spring 110 and a 105. So those are the stuff I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to be comparing those to what's currently inside the gearboxes over the next couple of days. So as long as my hay fever, because like you can hear right now, I'm very stuffy. It's my hay fever. I suffer a really bad hay fever. So if you hear this throughout the summer, you just know I don't have a coke problem. I literally just suffer a really bad hay fever, and I'm trying to find a solution around that. I know people are going to say injections. I don't want to take no damn injection. I like to do things naturally. Some people say I'm struggling, I'm suffering to, yeah, yes I am. I mean, I am struggling to stay natural, so, yeah. And to be fair, it works out better, because watch when I find the fix. You guys are gonna have to bite your tongue, the ones who have them comments. But anyways, yeah, so that was some of the order. So let me give you clarity, and then we'll get straight into it. So it's not just a chatting video. So for one setup, so ideally for the AR-15 style platform, CQB / outdoors, its job is CQB. That's literally what I want. So my stubby is my CQB gun, but sometimes I use it outdoors because it shoots bare far, but it's actually my CQB gun. And this AR-15, I want that to support the stubby. So when the stubby goes down, or when I feel like it's too high level gameplay, I will drop down to that gun. So that's what this setup is for, which I've kind of, no, tell a lie, that's not the truth. That's not the truth. So I'm gonna be mixing this up. So I just clocked. So that's not what that's for. I'm gonna show you what that's for. And then the other one, which is the DMR gun, the DMR style one. Obviously, I want that one actually for outdoor shooting. I've decided to go ghillie. So I've got a ghillie suit. I want to be able to test that, but I wanted something that allows me to plot up and just pick niggas off from 40 meters away. But also give me the ability that I could take this to CQB and it's still under the limit. Do you get what I'm saying? Or around the limit. So that's the idea. I feel like I've been chatting, and I also feel like I'm getting stuffy as I chat. So I really want to utilize before hay fever kills me. So yeah, so I'm going to show you quickly, because you're probably like, what's going in what? So currently what was in the DMR is this. This was a, what was it? A Delta Armory. It was just a standard figure. Their standard barrel that came with the thing, the standard hop up. And I had a standard rubber, which is what is here. Ignore the packaging. It was like a yellow style, I want to say maple leaf, but it doesn't really look like a maple leaf. So I'm just going to say a yellow style Delta Armory bucking M4AG style thing. I took that out and replaced that with one of these bad boys, Contrum or Fortrum, whatever you want to call it. An AG one, literally the same thing that you see here. I found that it did improve consistency wise in terms of where the gun would shoot to, and it did. I do feel like it oomphed where the shot went to, maybe by about like 5 to 7 meters. But for me, for a DMR style platform, I needed a bit more than 5 to 7 meters improvement. I wanted that consistent 40 meters or 45 meters. That was my hope, because obviously I'll show you what I mean. Like the barrel length is, they're roughly about the, oh, I see it now, they're roughly about the same. So maybe this idea might not work. I might need to buy another barrel that's a bit shorter, but we'll see once I put this together. So yeah, so let's chuck that back there. That was just to show you guys. So I'm gonna have to do bare chops, and the problem here is my brain is hella tired and I'm hella stuffy from hay fever. So just to be clear, so DMR, what I wanted to go into the DMR ideally was this, and this. And for those of y'all who know hop up setup, bucking, and your barrel, that's what makes that upper receiver, that's what's internal, that's what's going on in the internal AGs, which would essentially leave this that I came across the other day as a hop up system. So my plan was change this hop up out. I don't think the hop up is bad, even the wheel, it's a really long one, but I just think I might get a bit more consistency, plus it's prettier. It already has one of these in there, so I was going to carry that over, and in theory I was just going to carry the barrel over. What I was trying to work out though, which was which barrel out of these two is longer, because that's the one that needs to end up in the DMR. So do you see? And also, if the barrels are the same length, which I'm going to check shortly when I do start the work. Yeah, let me go grab some water as well, because boy, hay fever's spinning me. Okay, it's bad, man. I need to get some tablets. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, tired. I need to film these videos during the day. Sorry, people. I can hear it. Like, listen to how stuffy I am. But we push forwards. But yeah, if they end up being the same length, I think I'm gonna have to buy another. This is actually bad. Like, why am I so stuffy? Give me 2 seconds, people. It's actually bad. And I weren't this stuffy earlier when I was out, so it's kind of confusing. Okay, so yeah, so if they turn out to be the same length, I'll probably have to go for a different length barrel. So let me not confuse myself. That's meant to be what's going in the DMR. And that's what's meant to be going in the AR-15. So let's get to it. I'm going to disassemble because I just want to double check the barrel lengths quickly. So I'm just going to double check because I just want to make sure that they're not the same barrel length, because if they are, that might be a problem. Am I not bugging? Because in theory that would drop further back here. So that would be somewhere here, which would make that somewhere there. Yeah, so they're basically the same length. That's annoying. Which means that I might have to extend out one of the barrels just so that the tracer will work. The DMR one, it will clear, but it won't clear the other one, which is alright. It just means I'm seeking a barrel shorter than 229, maybe something that's about 180, maybe silver like this, stainless steel kind of thing. This is 229. I still feel like this is really short for AR-15, like, but it just I don't think it will clear it. When we put the system together, because I'm doing bear chatting today, but when we put the system together, we'll see if keep our O-rings because we might need those for the other barrel just in case. Yeah, when we do put that back together, we'll see if that works. So I'm gonna chuck that up there because at the moment I just want to check. So let's disassemble you. So for those of y'all who know, I tend to give that a spin. Let's grab that tool. And all we're doing is just like unleveling it so we can kind of like unclip that. Oh, this one's a bit tight. Oh yeah, the Delta Army ones are a bit tight. That one's proper tight. And there we are, finally. Don't be like me. Be a bit gentler with your things, because I know I've got backups, and to be fair, it's probably because my brain is tired. I'm a bit rough with my stuff tonight, but when I'm taking you guys stuff, obviously I'm not like that. It's you guys stuff at the end of the day. And then we can pop that out and just have a look. What I should probably do is get a cloth to chuck that on. So yeah, they're roughly about the same length. They're missing maybe like a fingertip worth in terms of length and size, but so I don't think it really makes a difference. So it wasn't, yeah, I'd need probably something maybe about here, it's like a 180, something about there. But that's a lesson for me. I will probably install the other one back into the system, like the hop-up system, just for the mere fact that, and you know, maybe that's a good point, because this would have the contrim, yeah, it's got the red, the orange backing, so I'll transfer that over there, and then I'll just remove. Yeah, so do you see, this ain't even a hard thing. I've made my life easier. So in me working out that I'm gonna need another barrel anyway for the AR-15, I've made light work for myself, and I'll show you why I say that in a sec. Well, technically I haven't, because I've got to still take the whole damn thing down, but it's alright. Kind of rushing because I just want my bed, man. It's been a long day. I've got another early start again, so we'll keep the bits together. Just because I'll probably bag these and keep them, because I'm going to chuck in this new system from Super Shooter, which is basically a knockoff SHS CNC. I've never used the Super Shooter one, but I've used the CNC SHS one, and to be fair, it's good depending on what you put in it. I've put some buckins and nubs in there that, trust me, I will stand by it, but I'm not gonna lie, I've had some times with that system where, especially when I changed to a metal nozzle, so I've noticed this, like if you're gonna run a metal nozzle, do make sure you have a plastic hop up, and if you run in a plastic nozzle, make sure the, well, yeah, that's a video for another day. We'll do that another day, because I've got to explain why, or else y'all won't understand. You'll disagree with me. So the easiest thing to do is, obviously this barrel I'm gonna just keep for the moment for the AR-15, though it's a bit longer, and I'll show you why I'm saying it's a bit longer when I put it back together. It protrudes into the outer barrel, which then goes into the tracer, which I don't want, because then the tracer won't activate. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, so essentially it's quite a cool system. The wheels, if you notice, are basically the same in terms of how far around they go. So that's why I said, like, I wouldn't even mind still using my wheel, just for the mere fact that my wheel has the little clicker thing on it. The only other thing is I'd be open to not doing that, just because I always say to people, when you make these lines on your hop, when you change the system, you have to remember that that would have changed, even if it's just by a couple inches. So unless you're willing to go through that fine tuning every game, just either rub that off, because you can scrape it off, or just start again. Just use another one and park this system up with the stuff that came out of it, because then you know what works and how it works together, and it's all bagged together. So yeah, let's not make this longer than it needs to be. So I'm gonna leave my little ring on there, kind of cheat. This barrel is, give me one second, let's double check that. To be fair, this barrel is clean, considering it is really clean. So I was gonna clean it, but there's no need. So I'm gonna line that up. The easy hack, people often ask me, how do you do this so quick in the video? So I'll show you quickly. Obviously this is silver, so it might be a bit more harder to see, but what you want to do is center this line here, and obviously where I had my bucking on it already, it kind of makes sense. That's why I tend to put a bit of lubrication just to hold it, and then the ring is already on the front of that, so I've like half done my job there. Then this clip, you want that clip to hinge on these little cutouts right here. There's two, one on this side, one on the opposite side. So I tend to kind of line it up. That's why I try to get that as center as possible. So I try to kind of line it up and then chuck it over it. But you'll notice often it will be offset like so. It won't quite be in. So you kind of want to just hold it together and kind of just move it backwards. Just make sure it's actually lined up. And then you'll notice that it kind of clips in place and it can't move anymore. So I can feel that that's kind of clipped in place. One side looks more clipped in than the other though. I think that just might be a machine. Yeah, it looks like a machining issue, because that feels secure. So once that feels secure, you should be able to maneuver that barrel now. You shouldn't have any movement. And I can feel that feels good. I need my nub, because obviously you want to use a hard bucking with a hard nub. So I'm going to just go back with my Contrum one. I just think it's the wisest thing to do. Plus it works well. I've heard, I can't even use that one. Maybe I'll use the old one. So another thing I just want to show you briefly is, because this is something that often happens when you buy upgrade parts, some things aren't directly compatible with each other. So I want to use that rubber, but if you have a look, the new one that I've got from Speed Shooter has like a little nub on the end itself, and then my old one has the cutout for my nub, so I'm going to use my old one. Alternately, some people might be like, say I don't have what you have. What I would have done if I only had this option was just not use the nub, because as long as that plastic isn't shit and wears down really quickly, you'd still be alright, because now you've got an actual hard bit of polymer pushing down on the bucking. As long as your bucking isn't some cheap ass, soft ass, because not all soft buckings are cheap, but as long as your bucking wasn't a cheap, soft bucking, you'd kind of be alright. You know what I'm saying? It probably, in some cases, depends on the style platform and the applicable. Am I bugging? It depends on where it's being applied. Give me one sec, because you want to line the RGC. I thought as much, because I was like, something don't feel right. So you're going to make sure, I've done videos on that, so I'm just going to skip over it, guys. I'm so sorry today. I genuinely need my bed, and I still have one more of these to do. So I'm literally just lining that up so it's in the right place. Come on. Might have to just chuck it in and manually do it. I always say this, you know, I shouldn't do this when I'm tired, because I always do clumsy things like this, like drop my knob. Like, where the hell is my knob? The thing is, I've got a spare one up here, you know, so I'll just use the spare one. It's just annoying, because now I've lost a good knob. And it's actually a really good one. It was working perfectly fine. I think tomorrow before I hoover, I will have a look again. If not, Mr. Henry will eat one of my knobs. But you essentially just, there's a curve side, you just want to line it up with the cut out curve side. That's essentially all I'm trying to do. Normally I do have a teeniest bit of vaseline, so everything would be kind of cross sticking to each other, but obviously today I didn't really want to do. I wanted to like kind of use the system as it was, so I didn't want to add any more grease into the system or even remove any grease. I don't mind removing grease, but not too much, if that makes sense. So that was today's plan. Like, can I just make my adjustments, but without. Oh, don't tell me I've turned it. It feels like I've turned the bucket. Okay, maybe I haven't. Yeah, maybe I haven't. Feels alright. So we're gonna line that hole up and then chuck that in. And to be fair, I would do this slower, but realistically, guys, if you're watching this video, it depends on why you're watching this video, innit? Like, if you're watching this video because this is something you're trying to do yourself, there's much better videos on the channel that address this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm more just doing this because y'all say I don't really build on the channel and show you what's going on. I've heard this opinion at least 3 or 4 times going out recently, so I'm kind of like, alright, I might as well just show them what's going on, because they see the gun once it's out, but they don't really get to see the journey of on the way to it when I play with it first, why I'm changing things, etc. So that's the first one done. This was what will be going inside, and I'll show you what it will be going inside of. So it'll be going inside of this bad boy. Something CQB wise and something that I can ghillie in the bush with, basically. But I'm going to move the ghillie over to another gun. I think I'm going to move the ghillie over to my DMR. So we'll just chuck that in. And you know, I'll zero it out just to make sure I'm not completely locked off. It does feel alright though, innit? I do like it. Maybe I should have used the old wheel, because I'm using the old. Oh, that's a good point, but I kind of like the blue wheel, so we'll leave it for tonight. Because the thing is, tomorrow what I could just do is zero it in. Because tonight I'm gonna do basic things like chrono it, just to make sure it's chronoing as it should. Because this should technically chrono a bit more consistent than it was before. What's going on here? Okay, there we are. That's the pushback I'm looking for. There we are. It should chrono a bit more consistent than it did. And this gun was chronoing quite consistent anyway. It was like, if I'm correct, it was like this one was chronoing quite low earlier. But it was because I had quite a short barrel in it. So it was chronoing at 266. But it was at 266, 268, 266, 267, 268. It was very consistent, like 1 or 2 at most. I think it jumped probably 3 or 4 FPS at one given time, and I think that was just more me now fucking about with my fire rate. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, very good gun, especially for the budget price I built it on, because I've got so many guns that are much more expensive, and this isn't far off their performance. So it's got the 25k motor as well. It is quite a saucy little thing still. To me, where's the battery? I'll show you briefly. I might as well. I'll chuck it back on the table so you can actually see I'm not cheating and it's not my stubby. So chuck a battery in there. Obviously it's late and it's like 3 in the morning, so I want to be careful with my neighbours, but and you know, let me just shoot down there quick. Okay, nothing in the chamber. But, you know what I'm saying? It's quite a little snappy thing, and I've got a stock ETU, it's not even a MOSFET, it's just like a contact point. But because I've got 25k motor, a really nice spring, now I've got a nice hop up and barrel set up, tracer. It's a nice build, it's a really, really nice budget build. I would love to change out the gears maybe to some 16 to 1s, and maybe put a nice ETU slash MOSFET in there, but apart from that, I'd be done with this gun. The thing is so, and you know, you build a gun specific for purpose. I just feel like every time I shoot this gun, it reminds me what purpose building is about. It's genuinely, I genuinely feel like she serves her purpose. I genuinely do. Like even earlier when I used her, I think my one qualm with her was because I've got this silver trigger in there. It makes you feel like it's a speed trigger or a competition trigger, and realistically it's not. It just looks the part. So this is what I'm saying. I definitely need an ETU in there, something that gives me the adjustability of my trigger, or the programmability or the tweaking of my trigger. So it's not just the look, it's actually a performance thing as well. What was I trying to do? Let me just chuck a mag in this quick and chrono, because then I've just got to do one more, do the same thing, and then we're done. Quick. Three or five, I like it. 299, 291, 300, 298, non-reading, 301, 299, 298. I'm not gonna lie, I really like that. Very consistent, may I say. I feel like it's held this consistency, and some could argue maybe got a bit better at it because it's a longer barrel. And I know sometimes, like I've done quite a few builds where people up the barrel and now they're fighting with an FPS issue. So I like that because that's what I want. My sights, the limit for 2.5 is 315, so this is perfect. This is like just underneath it, so I'm still, yeah. I could still go up a battery and I could still up my spring ever so slightly and I'd still be on my limit. So I'm happy with this one. So that's the first one done. And she looks pretty in there, may I say. You know what I'm saying? She looks real pretty in there. You got the silver hop up, blue wheel, and then I've got the black setup. I think eventually I might opt for like a silver tube as well and just leave the gearbox black, just to give the gun a whole nice little cool looking feel. But I'm happy with that still. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely happy with that. Just think this one just needs a nice ETU because it's got the 25k motor to support it. Just needs a nice ETU. Just so nobody thinks I'm capping. I'll show you guys so you can see it right there. 298, 299, 301, 298, 300, 291, 299. You know what I'm saying? And may I just add, this gun is shimmed by me. For you soy boys that like to talk on my service and the quality that people receive. This is a gun built by me, and this is a budget gun as well. Imagine what I'll do if you give me the right money. But anyways, let's keep the ball rolling. Let me just get rid of this one out of the way. And then we'll move on to our next project. I'm going to do some range testing tomorrow on this one. And then, like I said, I'll probably move the ghillie suit off this gun onto the DMR and see how it looks there. Because it looks really nice here. I just feel like, because this gun's going to be in CQB more time, the real question is, do I need the ghillie suit on it? Whereas the DMR, I'll be running as an actual like DMR a lot of the time. So yeah, like when I ask myself that same question about that gun, it does make sense there. Whereas here, not so much. It just looks cool on it. Okay, getting dry mouth, man. All this chatting and hay fever. So 2 secs, guys. Just trying to clear up the areas to the air mix. And she actually looks pretty in that little dress-up suit, you know. Maybe I'll buy one more of them then. I kind of don't want to take her out with it now. The good thing I like about it is like 5 minutes, within 5 minutes you could just take it back off and your gun looks like it looked before. So you see what I'm saying? I'm gonna like, oh, maybe I do just buy another one. Okay, so let's get into it. Get that out of the way. Let's get that out of the way. So this, I'm gonna get rid of the box because I don't need that. This I'm gonna get a bag for. Because stuff like this, I just feel like it's relevant. Like you could, if you're like me, you could just shop this stuff off on eBay. As long as it's in good nick and you're not robbing nobody and you check the stuff over, like it could make somebody's day. You know what I'm saying? It could make somebody's week, their month. Then them getting something like this for a bargain or much cheaper than you bought it for. But at the same time, I also like the idea of having backups of things, because even if it's not long term what I'm gonna use in that weapon or in that situation or whatever it is, it gives me the comfortability to survive that game day, make it back home, to order something cool, to the store, make it to the store to solve my problem or whatever I'm encountering. So I will always preach that to people, like just save your bits, there's no harm. Do you know what I'm saying? And then if you want to be one extra, just label it so I can know that this is a Delta Armory one. Delta Armory. Up. So yeah. So I'm gonna just chuck that in here, because I tend to keep like a little setup of parts myself also, because it's just handy, it makes sense. Like say I'm at a game and like I said something breaks, I don't have to panic too heavily because I know that I've got a part. Like I said, it might not be the part I want to stay in there, but it will at least get me through that game day. It's the same, it helps me help my mates as well. Don't hold on to everything. You don't want to hold on to everything else. You'll just become a hoarder. Talking about, oh, that rainy day that never comes. You get it? But because I tech and like I said, I game the guns hard and I'm always upgrading things, you will run into the one hiccup and you want to have something to be able to fix that hiccup quickly on site, minimal stress. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. I think I should probably move that out the way as well. I've got a review coming soon as well. For gun that I've been talking about for ages, but I don't want to distract you guys, so I won't talk about that too much. Next one. So